you feel a little bit uncomfortable about all this honoring stuff?
Uh-huh. No, not at all. Can I leave you?
Temple Israel of Hollywood is honoring me because I'm kind of the Energizer bunny of the capital campaign and the development of a new campus.
I have no idea why I'm being honored. I really don't.
Lead, inspire, achieve. Huh.
These are really hard questions. You know, to lead is to be out in front.
To me, to lead is to listen.
The true leadership, I believe, is following one's heart and soul and always sticking to one's guns in the sense of what one believes is right.
Howie leads because he has a vision of where he wants to take the synagogue. Lisa inspires because her life is a living testimony to someone who fights her cancer, who picks up her head high, who speaks honestly to her children, who volunteers.
I can't stand up on a podium and scream to people. I show them what I do, and I hope that they'll follow.
To achieve is to meet one's goals, to intelligently think about where an organization needs to go and move down the court and do it.
Sherry Marks proves that she's a woman of achievement. I mean, Big Sunday has gone from a very successful little event that took place within the synagogue walls to a major citywide, huge volunteer event.
I think they're all kind of married together. I think good leaders are inspiring people, and they do great things, so they achieve great things. I can't imagine those words being used about me, but I feel very honored that they would think to use those about me.
All three of them embody them in different ways, but in similar ways. Howie has really moved us forward in this capital campaign. Sherry has created something that will really be part of the legacy of Temple Israel through Big Sunday. And Lisa inspires by her very being because she is so well loved. People want to do what Lisa loves to do. So all three are really quite exceptional people, and I'm real proud of all three of them.
This one time, my brother and I, we were little, we were playing on the beaches in Lanai. And it was a beautiful, perfect day. And this panic just sweeps across the beach. Next thing I know, we find out that this man has drowned in the ocean. My dad right away and this other man jump into the water and bring him to shore, and my dad resuscitates him. Just seeing this man come back to life and knowing that my dad has personally saved this man's life was truly remarkable.
Howie's an interesting guy. He's so highly principled and passionate about anything he believes in. And he will go to all lengths beyond what the average person does to either fight for what he believes in or to make sure something happens that needs to happen.
I've been blessed with many things in my life. I've been blessed with a great wife, great kids. I had parents that were loving, caring, and gave me every opportunity that they could to make myself better. I went to college on scholarships. I went to medical school with scholarship, and feel an obligation to give back to people who have the potential for the future for themselves.
I actually have known Howie about 27 years. He came to the LA Free Clinic as a resident. I had never seen such a dedicated young doctor who cared so much about people that had no place else to turn.
The Los Angeles Free Clinic is a really special place. The clinic really survives because we have an incredible group of supporters in the community, one of them being Howie Mandel. It's 25 years that he has been involved working on the board, working as a volunteer, and doing a significant amount of fundraising for the clinic as well.
I think there's two aspects to fundraising. One is not asking for yourself, but asking for a good cause. And the second is having the guts to do it.
That is work that literally almost no one wants to do. He takes on that work as if it is no big deal whatsoever. It is as natural to him as breathing.
It's impossible to say no to him. He is one of those people who cares so deeply about everything in his life that you can't say no.
We get so many tributes in honor of Howie Mandel for our new baby girl or our new baby boy. But I think maybe in that delivery room, this is what happens. There's a tape that says, push, LA Free Clinic, push, LA Free Clinic.
One of the great things I do several times a week is I deliver babies.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like your husband. Oh.
You see the development of life every day, and that's a very spiritual event. You have to think about like bigger issues of the whole entire universe.
I'm amazed that he and his wife Susie make it a priority to show up here on Friday night for services. Even though he's constantly experiencing God's presence in the world, by bringing children into this world, he himself goes further and takes some time to rest and reflect on the awesomeness of the kind of work that he actually does.
The synagogue is a great grounding for me and for other people where we think about life and we think about God, and kind of grounds us to what we should be doing to make our lives better and to kind of repair the whole world.
Howie really cares about the future of our community and has been heading up our capital campaign for our temple expansion and has done wonders in not only envisioning what needs to happen, but in working with me and others in bringing this about in a way that has outstripped all of our expectations.
The more meaningful things he does, the more energy he has, and the more he radiates that energy and really infuses others with that sense of energy and interest and optimism.
After we were married for a couple of years, I kept waiting for the real Howie to emerge. I kept saying, this can't really be him. This can't be the person who wakes up, every night with a smile on his face at, at 2 a.m. when he's woken up for a baby. How can this really be him? How come he's not kvetching?
Whenever I'm faced with, any type of moral dilemma, now or ever before, Dad almost always, comes to my mind. His image speaks to me. He's one of the most profoundly moral people I know.
The first time I made her laugh was a thrilling moment for me, and decided that was going to be one of my life pursuits, was to try to make her laugh as much as possible.
Darling, you shed me. Darling, you shed me.
She comes from a family of community activists, and so I think that was ingrained in her.
My dad was the president of the JCC for years. My mom worked at Reproductive Health Services in the late 60s and early 1970s and was counseling women under a tree before Roe v. Wade. So I saw my parents do some really incredible things as a child.
When I think about Lisa, I think about passion She has this unbelievable capacity to energize everybody around her.
At the Zimmer, I've helped to build something very special there. I started there about 4 years ago, and in that time, we've become our own 501c3. We've increased our operating budget threefold.
Lisa has brought an expertise about how we strategize our financial present and, more importantly, our financial future.
She has a whole work experience that she doesn't talk about that is highly sophisticated. She also represents two school communities that are vital to who we are right now and to the future of the community.
I first met Lisa Hofheimer when she and Josh applied to the day school for Emma, but her reputation had preceded her because Sherry had already told me so many amazing things about this nursery school parent who helped start this Aliso Pico project.
Just getting our preschool to do as many things as it did over the years, planting gardens and repainting the school and doing paving work outside there. I know she made that place a warmer home for the children that spend their days there.
Over the last several years, she's accomplished so many goals that she's set forth for herself, for raising the bar in fundraising, for getting the school involved in a variety of charitable organizations. She's done all of this while she's had her own personal issues.
Surviving breast cancer and her, having to deal with that illness and continuing to deal with it on a daily basis has had a monumental, life-changing impact.
It was a profound occurrence in my life. I think it probably made me more compassionate. It certainly made me empathize with people who are significantly older than me and with people who are severely ill. It might have made me nicer, more patient, but it didn't change my mission. If anything, it added a new dimension.
When someone is diagnosed with breast cancer or any cancer, but I think more so with breast cancer, you now become the new guide to everyone that comes up behind you. And she has really been that beacon for a lot of women.
I don't think I remember calling her and saying, Lisa Hofheimer, will you please be my breast cancer guide? But she appointed herself. And I think that's pretty charming. She didn't ask, do you need my help? Do you want me to help you? She said, I'm here to help you, and this is what you have to do.
I feel good when I can sit down with a woman who's been recently diagnosed with breast cancer or some other type of cancer, and it feels wonderful if I can give her some piece of information that's going to help her to breathe more easily. Because I know how good it felt for me when other people did those things for me.
This community reached out to us in a way that was maybe unfathomable if you haven't gone through it. But I think that led to Lisa wanting to give back in some way and to say thank you for all that the synagogue has and continues to do for us.
Her life has moved on, but not moved on forgetting, but moved on using the past to inform the future. She's amazing in that sense.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true.
So my mom is being honored by the temple for her great work on Big Sunday.
Well, we honor her every day, so
Yeah.
to us it's not a surprise.
She's awesome.
Love is the answer, at least, for most of the questions in my heart. Like, why are we here and where do we go?
And what people in the temple may not know is that Sherry spent the better part of the last 20 years involved in one form of community service or another.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Sherry was the director of the Catch program at the Community Magnet School. She ran the very best program in all of LAUSD for matching volunteers with children who are having problems with literacy.
And CATCH stands for Caring Adults Teaching Children How. And she basically took that program from its very beginnings and she just went to town.
Over the years, Sherry has touched, I estimate, thousands and thousands of children with her work in the CATCH program and then with her work in Corée LA.
Every person or child benefits from the intensive attention of another human being. For both Corée and the CATCH program, that's what that hour per week does. Someone who is making a choice to be with that child for 1 hour every week, that elevates that child.
Sherry is a powerhouse, and she has a vision of what she wants to do, and she gets it done.
And what she's done with Big Sunday alongside David Levinson and many others is second to none, not only in our community, but probably nationally.
I'm very proud of Big Sunday. I have been involved just as a Temple member since Big Sunday started, first as a volunteer and then as a captain of various projects, and then finally, I guess around the 4th year, I think it had grown to about 1,500 volunteers, and I saw David at the pizza party.
According to Sherry, what she said, she just looked across the room at me, and I was the tiredest looking person she'd ever seen. Very possible.
And I said to him, I want to help you.
No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good.
So the following year, she signed on to help me and to organize me. You know, I'm not the world's most organized person.
I'm just trying to keep up with David. He has so much vision and so many ideas, and I am the one who, for years, had been saying, let's put the brakes on, it's getting too big, we can't handle it.
There was one year she was particularly anxious to get me to say no to things. And she asked me something, and I just said I couldn't do it. And there was silence on the other end of the phone. And I was like, Sherry, you still there? And she said, yes, but I really needed you to do this thing. I said, Sherry, I'm saying no. I said, I thought your whole thing was you want me to say no. And then there was silence, and she was like, well, not to me.
The month before Big Sunday, and this kind of messy, horrible person with dirty hair and my flannels on and sitting at the computer manically typing and emailing and phoning.
By the time we get to 2 weeks before Big Sunday, we won't see her. I mean, we'll see her, but she won't talk to us.
She's in her own, we don't exist. Nothing exists outside the computer.
And the phone.
And the dogs.
Meetings. And the dogs.
The dogs are very important.
It's not just kind of the idea of those of us who can reach out to those who need help. And this is what I think Big Sunday does incredibly well, is offers the opportunity to everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what neighborhood you live in, no matter your economic status. There's the opportunity on Big Sunday for every single person to help someone else. And the fact that we have been able to mushroom this growth to over 32,000 last year as volunteers. When you think of the kind of pay it forward of that, is if you have 32,000 people volunteering, how many hundreds of thousands are actually being helped? So I'm very pleased about that.